You should join Parliament. That's a blast.
I'd like to call the meeting back to order. Mr. Evangelista wanted me to point out that since Mr. Rhode was leaving, he's the acting president now. That's not true. Mr. James sent me a text message requesting a leave. He says he's not feeling well. I will entertain a motion. Motion made by Mr. Dion, seconded by
In a meeting.
seconded by Mr. Cavalli to approve the leave for Hayden James. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Abstentions. Motion carries. Next order of business is updates and remarks. Administration update. Dr. Gary Penfield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just have one item. It's a random information quiz for the body. How many of you around the table know the name of the Rhode Island College graduate who is nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress, appeared on The View about 2.5 weeks ago? How many of you, raise your hand if you know the name of that person?
I don't know her name, but I have a name.
I don't know her name. What's her name?
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis. Viola Davis is a Rhode Island College graduate. Probably, I can't remember. Marissa, do you know, it's a class of 84, 85, something like that?
That sounds good.
Yeah, was involved in our Upward Bound program at Rhode Island College, was involved in our Student Support Services program. These are trio programs, and she's, every chance she gets, she's out there promoting Rhode Island College, the trio programs, in terms of access. She would say that certainly she would never, ever have achieved what she has achieved were it not for being involved in these programs at Rhode Island College and with Rhode Island College. And she's just having a fabulous career. Do you now, if you know her name, what's the movie that she was in that brought her all of this acclaim? Ooh,
the priests and the nuns and stuff.
I'd like to see
Stout. Yes.
Stout. Stout. Anyway, I just thought that you ought to know that. It's not, if you want her contact information, you can contact News, Jane Fusco in News and Information, because she would have the contact information, or you can contact the director of the Upward Bound, Marion Boyajian, because Marion talks to her on the telephone about every other day. And,
Where is she?
Marion Boyajian is in Craigley.
She wasn't a Parliament, but was she?
There's probably going to be an article in What's News at Rhode Island College within a week or so that you will see it there as well. But anyway, was she on Parliament? The question was, I do not believe that Viola was ever on Parliament. But anyway, I went to some events sort of towards the end of her theater career here at Rhode Island College, and it was clear even at that point that this person had such enormous talent that she was showing us in the group session I was in, that she was going to go places, and she has. So anyway, I thought you'd like to have that random information. That includes my report.
Dr. Penfield.
Yes, Mr. Buckley.
Is she from Rhode Island, or did she come
She
here?
is from Rhode Island. Her family still lives in Rhode Island.
Oh, that's cool.
Live in Central Falls.
My sister teaches at my old high school.
Her sister teaches. Her sister is also a graduate of Rhode Island College.
It's great.
Next order of business is faculty update. I don't think I got the nominations here anymore. Staff update, Ms. Weiss.
Okay, a few things. people are curious, if you print out your own agenda, or even I can, work with SCG, there's a fun way where you can put 2 pages on 1 page and not kill yourself to read it. And then I print on junk paper, but double-sided. So if you don't know how to set that up, usually you just go into print and then properties, and then it says 1 page, but you can put 2 pages up. See if each thing.
The computer lab doesn't do back and front, but I usually do 2 sides.
No.
Yeah, so if it doesn't do back and front, at the very least you could be doing 2 pages on 1 page. To remind your advisors, if they, if they are interested in learning more about the SCG budgeting and finance system, that they should RSVP to for Friday's session at noon. Chris and Sally will join us to talk about the ins and outs of these things, so hopefully your advisors can be more helpful to you in budgeting things. It'll be here in this room. Also, I had talked to Josh Laguerre about the possibility of visiting other school student government meetings, and I don't know if other people were interested. I'd be happy to see if athletics can let us use the vans of fun and take a few folks over. I didn't write down with me here, but I've talked to colleagues at Bryant, Roger Williams, and Providence College, and I could probably get the Brown, Johnson & Wales, and URI information. I guess short poll, are people interested in journeying? Almost everyone. So I'll get that information and then see if we can set up times to go. I believe some of them were meeting on Mondays. There weren't too many conflicts with our meeting time. And then one last thought. Dr. King and I learned something new at this PeopleSoft presentation we went to earlier in the week, or was it last week, I guess. It's been a pet peeve of mine that we don't have a student email directory on the website where you can just go and type in Sean Andrews, and Sean Andrews' email address comes up. Because what if I want to get in touch with Sean and I didn't know the last 4 numbers of his envelope, because there's no way I would ever know that. Well, and true, in Outlook there's a way that you can do it, but sometimes it's difficult because not everyone is listed by, some people are listed by first name instead of last name. However,
middle initial.
Yeah, yes, the middle initial. But I didn't even think about the fact that you can log into your RI Connect and search for people that way. So looking to get in touch with someone else who didn't know their email address and then not on Facebook, you can find it. Thanks.
Thank you, Ms. West. Dean of Students, Dr. Scott King.
Happy Black History Month, or is it Merry Black History Month? Whatever it is. Black History Month. Look at the calendar, enough said. Okay. For those of you who have, as of the beginning of last fall, accumulated either more than 90 credit hours or less than 30 credit hours, that is technically freshman or senior status, you will be receiving an invitation, email invitation from me to your Rhode Island College email account to participate in this year's administration of the National Survey of Student Engagement. This is a survey that the college conducts of freshmen and seniors to get a sense of their educational experiences, the kinds of things that they're participating in the classroom, outside of the classroom, academic-wise, extracurricular-wise. And we compare our data with ourselves from year to year, or over a course of a 2-year period. We also compare our data with other schools that are like ours. This is very important for the college to get this information because it kind of lets us know what kinds of things maybe we ought to work on. Like one of the changes that came out of this is the whole universal advising system and really getting students more advising and trying to keep them on track academically a little bit better. We compared with our peers less favorably in years past, so we're expecting big improvements in that area. but it really influences a lot of educational practices at the college. And so if you receive that type of invitation, or if you have friends that fit into one of those two categories, are a freshman or a senior, and receive that invitation, would you please, please, please ask them to complete the survey. It'll take you or take them, maybe 20 minutes to complete. It's all just a bunch of, check boxes or whatever when you go through it. But it's very important information for the college. We really need to get a good representative sample of our students filling out that form. And the other thing is the system is set up, we contract with the company to do this, and the system is set up that I will hound you with emails. I'll send you like 5 emails by the end of the whole thing. If you don't fill it out, you just keep getting these reminders. So, help me out. Thanks. Let's see. Oh, Dr. Penfield didn't talk about the men's basketball team. I thought that might be interesting. Last night they beat number 20 ranked for Division III Amherst College, and so I don't know if they may, who knows, maybe they'll crack the top 20 themselves this week. This Saturday they're on the road to, Dr. Penfield, do you know?
I'm not sure who they play Saturday. Are you yielding the floor to me?
Sure.
But
I want
next Tuesday they're playing UMass Dartmouth, and they're tied with UMass Dartmouth for the top spot in the Little East League. And that's the last game of the Little East season leading into the tournament. So the other thing is last night's game against Amherst. It's the first time that Rhode Island College has ever beaten Amherst. It's going to be on TV. Did you all get a blast, an email blast of this today? It's going to be on TV tomorrow evening, ESPN, which one?
Cox Channel.
Cox. Channel 3 at 7:30?
No.
I think it's at 9.
It's at 9. Oh, 9. Okay, anyway, tomorrow night, if you want to watch. Who was there besides? You were there, yeah. There was a big difference between the first half and the second half. Let us tell you that. But anyway, back to Dr. King.
Thank you. Well, and just the last thing I wanted to mention, you can check the student handbook for the policy on responsible computing. It tells you about what's legal and illegal with respect to email. Sean? That's it.
Thank you, Dr. King.
It's our campus. I don't think it's, reckoning.
I think I'd like this service.
Moving on to item 13, issues of follow members. First, I'd like to thank members of the media for staying with us for this entire meeting. We haven't had a lot of coverage in the past of follow meetings, so I'd like to thank members of the Anchor for being here, and also Mr. Steve Rice in the back of the room. He brought his own camera here to take the meeting. He was here 2 weeks ago, and he brought 3 tapes with him and run out. Unfortunately, he couldn't take the last part, but am I correct? Were we live tonight?
Oh yeah, we had 2 viewers for about 5 minutes, but the connection's been pretty jumpy today.
Not only is he taking the meeting for us on his own, but we were live tonight, so anyone who can watch us on the internet.
Hey, point of information for our friends. Can I ask, what is it? I guess you can't stream live on YouTube. Like, how can people be accessing this? How can I help advertise that people should be watching us?
We'll be uploaded to YouTube by the end of the week. And so if anyone wants to give me your email address, I'll tell you where to find it.
Yes, very good.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Rice, in particular, for coming out here and filming the meeting. Issues for follow members, Mr. Buckley.
Just following up on your comments about the Tuesday game coming up versus UMass Dartmouth. The Anchorheads are leading a campaign to maroon up the media center. This coming Tuesday, come to the game, dress in maroon and pale gold is our other school color. Silver, maroon, pale gold, something. We're
School colors are gold and white. Maroon is the accent color.
Oh, really?
You know that? Random information.
Really?
Gold and white. 50 school colors.
Is it burgundy?
Burgundy, call it maroon.
Burgundy/maroon up the media center, whatever it is. You guys should come to that game because I know nothing about sports and I'm still going. So.
Murray Center.
Oh, Murray Center, not media center.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't come to the game, please.
Any else, Mr. Buckley?
That's it.
This Judge Buckley.
I just wanted to say that for Parliament members that left their committees, I know a lot of people resigned from PR committee, and if you're without a committee, there's the Donovan and the Security Ad Hoc Committee, which is only a few people on there at this moment, and especially for the 2 new Parliament members, I could use the help. Me and Mariama could use the help. Really good. That's it.
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
Are there seats open for non-parliament?
Yes, there is. 7 seats.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
I'm sure we can get some lively folks. They just need to come into SCG. Is that correct?
They can do our application anytime during office hours. They can be present or see the committee chair. Mr. Resendez.
Does the Green Committee have any non-parliament? I thought I heard earlier you said no. The less non-parliament seats for Green Committee.
I just don't know, we don't have any non-parliament seats for it.
Did you say any?
No, we do, we have a full of non-parliament seats.
Oh,
We
okay.
have parliament seats that we do.
I thought I heard earlier there was no non-parliament seats.
That's because Adrian was a parliament seat, he wanted to put as a non-parliament seat, we got taken off because there's no room for him as a non-parliament member.
Yeah, when are we meeting again?
Good question. There'll be an email.
Yes.
Also, if I want to bring the problem of the lack of speed bumps, how would I do it?
To the agenda or to a committee?
I don't know. I don't want to.
I would forward it to the Community Services Committee and have them investigate.
Point of inquiry?
Yes.
Does that go to parking and traffic? Speed bumps?
It could go to that as well. It would actually also go to parking traffic. You could, but we make recommendations to the council on matters. We don't necessarily have any direct contact with physical plants sometimes. We should, but we don't always. Conditions of Services also has the voice to do it. So you could be best served by saying both of these. Josh and I think. Or anyone else. All set?
Yep.
Mr. Andrews.
I just wanted to update everybody that we can have a formal report this week again. The PR committee has been meeting steadily since last semester, and we have a lot of good ideas to improve, on a few issues that were up. One issue was the fact that we really don't keep in contact and connect with our constituencies enough. So this week we discussed the possibility of actually starting a newsletter from Parliament. Pretty basic communication going out every semester. The installation of suggestion boxes in all the major locations on campus for like conditions and services, complaint slips and whatnot. Also, we discussed the next town hall meeting, which will be held on Wednesday, February 25th at 12:30. This is during free period. The reason this was set during free period was to ensure a large student turnout. Hopefully, the promotion will be like last year, where we offer groups $5 per member to attend, and I think what a probable limit was up to what, $100 per group? That would go into their budget extra. Same thing, refreshments. We're hoping Wednesday.
Wednesday 25th.
We're hoping all Parliament members can attend, and I'll pass it over to Ms. Escobar. Maybe you can give a little bit more light to the situation.
I just wanted to say that even though the Public Relations Committee is basically down to 3 people, we are still working hard on, this town hall meeting and then the upcoming, rally. And so I just want to know it's still working, it's still active.
And just to follow everything out, we do encourage you guys to speak to your different constituencies about the town hall meeting. During this town hall meeting, it's going to be a little bit more structured than others, and I wish I had gotten a chance to speak to President Bonanno, but because of the time constraints associated with free period, it's going to be really down to the wire, as in, here are the issues we can talk about. We want to hear what students have to say, what their questions are, and we'll address. And we're praying that we can get representatives from Donovan, security, and physical plant there to answer the questions, because honestly, Mr. Bonanno and Mr. Lima have a wealth of information about Rhode Island College, but they're not paid to do it. So they don't know everything. And we felt that it was most pertinent to have people who get paid to do these things for us and there to answer your questions and the students' questions.
Are you in the ballroom?
Yes.
Yes, Spice.
Just on Sean's, can I offer to PR, I know, isn't it Mandy that you took the pictures of everyone or someone did? If you can get me the pictures of everyone, or at least the files, I can print out the pictures themselves. I would be happy to use one of our bulletin boards to post up everyone's picture, their contact info.
No.
Please no. Can I put a smiley face for you?
You can write picture unavailable, absolutely.
Okay, so
I don't have my personal info.
Well, how are your constituents supposed to get in touch with you?
It's on my board at school. But I don't want the whole campus to have my information. No, I'm just kidding, sorry. Picture.
But yeah, so if you don't want your picture, I can find, smiley faces.
So,
Right. But
one more point. Any members of parliament who are interested in joining the PR commission, we don't have a lot of female. We have no female representation on this commission anymore. We implore females to join because it's a predominantly female campus, and we need that point of view there. And we need any other opinions that can be brought to the table as well, because 4 people can't do it all.
Yeah.
It's a big committee. There's a lot of seats, sort of non-parliament seats.
non-parliament
too.
seats?
I think we expand the size. Mr. Holland.
Yes, I was going to say that I'm on the the leadership weekend planning committee with Kristen Fleming, and I had a meeting, Corbin and I had a meeting with her earlier today, and she wants us to pass along that after the leadership weekend, there's 19 students going right now. There's still a limited number of spots available. It's mostly female that signed up, so she's looking for more males to sign up for the leadership. I don't know the exact number of spots. She's looking for more males to sign up if you're interested. And then also, I noticed recently that some new handicap push pads were installed in the student union, and one on the bridge between Donovan and the student union is installed, but it's not working. So I wanted to
We're not finished, so
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Holland. Mr. Butler.
I was wondering what happened to that cultural task force committee that that I motioned to form last semester that has seriously not done anything?
Ms.
Anyone here on the committee?
Asking me about this committee.
Huh? Is there a chair? Is there nobody on the committee whatsoever?
I believe no one was appointed to chair.
Ms. Longier would like to speak on it.
From what I understand, I don't believe the committee has met yet.
Well, is there a chair of the committee?
The chair is, I believe the chair is supposed to be a student on Parliament, but I'm going to talk to Mr. President about that committee and its need and maybe restructuring what the committee's task, if there's a task for it. So, hold on, we'll look into that one.
I do recall, I don't know, his last meeting of committees ago that the president said there was no one on the committee and he had not received any real, there were a couple people on the committee, he hadn't received any interest beyond a couple people, and I think he made a plea to Holland for people who were interested to sign up to join the committee. I think no one else came to him.
That's not so good if people are pushing for it.
My last inkling of the last time we discussed this committee, we couldn't decide on a purpose. So I think that's kind of what made a lot of people shy away.
Well, Sean, I motioned and wrote down a purpose and motioned to create the committee. We had some purpose. I don't
The committee has been formed and approved, but there's maybe 1 or 2 members, I know at least 1, maybe 2 members appointed to it because I don't think anyone else has come forward to join it. Yes.
Which committee is this?
The Cultural Task Force.
Here is, from my understanding, here is focused on have a better
They have similar missions in some respects, and in other respects, they have different missions.
What's the difference between the Green Committee and the Service Conditions and Service Committee? Oh. It's more direct.
It's more, they're more specialized, more nurture.
It's almost like a subcommittee, but it is an independent committee.
You know, once again, it's obviously there's a lot of misunderstanding what's going on with the committee. I'll make sure I talk to Banana about that, because I was thinking about it myself. I said, what is the task force doing? Are they meeting? What is the need? Should we restructure? So I'll make sure I have an update for you next week about that. Our next meeting.
Also, Ms. Buckley?
Also.
Ms. Bentley, Mrs. Bentley.
I was just wondering who I talked with about the computer lab hours and...
Which computer lab? The one in
the Horace Mann. They're closed on Saturdays, and that's pretty much everybody that I speak with. I don't know. I'm not even sure.
Yes.
The computer, we're actually open on ric.edu/USS. It's a user service system pages, and it says the different hours of all the computer functioning labs and like what you're running in there, and it's just the Whipple's open on Saturday and the other one on Sunday. Yes.
Okay, so they alternate.
Yeah, so if like you came to campus and you just went to that one and then you went home.
Yeah, I didn't know that the other one existed. So, all right, I'll
user support services.
I'll pass the word. Thank you.
Mr. Wilson.
Back to exactly the same thing. What's the point of these speed bumps?
Because on College Road, and then also near the dorms, people are speeding around the curves, and even with snow. Like if they swivel a little bit and the sidewalks aren't even shoveled, they're walking the street.
I would say.
Speed limit's 20, you will go over 20.
And I think I heard one person gets hit a year. Yes, someone got hit.
I was there.
See, isn't it like horrible?
Also, Ms. Bosi?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mrs. Dooley?
I appreciate that the town hall meeting is going to be Wednesday free period for students to be there, but I hope that whoever is in charge of this takes into consideration that free period is also a time that organizations meet, so I, for one, will definitely not be able to be there. So I mean, it's
another option.
Well, no, I think it's fantastic for the majority of students, absolutely. But I know that we've also said in the past that it's going to be mandatory. So as long as we take it into, I'm sorry.
I think that was for all meetings.
No, that was for the last council meeting. That was not for all meetings.
Review the minutes and then check.
So that is something we need to put a leave in for? Every town hall meeting?
We'll double check that and report back to Bob, and if it is the case, we'll email Bob and let us know. We have a meeting before the town hall, correct?
That was also partially the intent that we know groups meet at that time. And as group leaders, we have that influence over our members to get them to come and speak out on issues. But often, when you go to your organization, a good amount of time is spent complaining about issues that you're having on the campus. So why not bring that to the people who can actually do something about it?
I disagree.
Alright, we're debating a little bit too much here. We're going to keep it to one issue at a time. This is Dooley still.
I'm also thinking.
Mr. Patterson.
This is the only thing, I was on Public Relations Committee last semester, and due to like one class, French class actually. Anyways, I'm still interested, and that the last committee mentioned, I'm interested in like helping out as much as I can, because this is something that I take myself as someone who loves to promote, who loves to socialize, and that's something I want to further go around. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. What I really wanted to make notice was what happened at the last town hall meeting. I mean, I think we all noticed problems, or at least all of us who were there. And like the biggest one was just, we had questions for people that weren't there, and that's great if we got questions. And I hear the same question from 9 different people, and then nothing is still happening, and we all are realizing nothing is happening. I mean, I just want to stop that ignorance like right there, and I want it to be like known that if no one from Conditions and Services is there, which I pray to God, like we can at least get someone. I will handcuff myself to the guy the night before, and just guess what we're doing today? Just having that going. Yeah, it's just we really have to focus on the meeting for what the meeting's for, and then notice that, you know, this is like one of the few chances that we get to bring up problems on campus. Right? Now, I know what happened last time, conditions and services, security. Now, the last time the security guard came into Parliament, he had all kinds of things for us. You know, he gave us a bologna sandwich that we could like eat for a week. And, you know, we still have questions. And those questions should be brought up, and we should be able to take out, like, you know, what we don't need to know from them. You know, just be like, okay, well, this is what we are only asking to just answer this. You know, and like, I'm pretty sure we can security there, right? Yeah. And like, the other thing is, just getting people there. I cannot stress that enough. I mean, I want as many people there as possible. But Sean says, like, you know, we should at least take some members of like the group. Any member that has any problem on campus, people should be there. You know, and if they're saying the same questions, like, so be it. But at a certain point, like, just realize where to cut. And that's where the board should be able to diversify. And then other than that, that's all I want to be on the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Garza.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Andrews, seconded by Ms. Mazzetti to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Please stay seated and silent for roll call.
Christopher Banana. Nigel Evangelista. Kelly Flores Cunningham. Here. Nicholas Lima.
Here.
Jennifer Almeida. Aniki Epipalomo. Son Andrews.
Here.
Kimberly Fernandez. Edward Pratt. Aaron Holland. Joshua McGeer.
Here.
Leonidas.
Here.
Jasmine Zendis.
Here.
Here.
Aaron Buckley.
Here.
Cole Bentley.
Here.
Amy Dion.
Here.
Tom Pettis.
Here.
Here. Ariella Cavalli. Jeremy Gombo. Thomas Lima.
Here.
Sarah Joy.
Here.
Gary Kent. Stephanie Lewis. Eric Nicholas. Scott Haynes.
Here.
Marissa Weiss.
Here.
Marissa Cantalina.
Here.
Chelsea Solo.
Here.
Rita Jackson.
Thank you, everyone.